Good morning, guys. It's another bright sunny day. It's going to be in the 60s, so it looks like spring has really come, and now we're looking for the mild temperatures that's more comfortable. I love it. We'll get down to business here in just a minute. Okay, guys, so I was curious about how much weight I had lost while doing Omad. Today marks 21 days or 3 weeks, and so I decided to count back. And it doesn't seem like it's been that long. It does not seem like it's been 21 days. So I counted back, because the last time I knew I'd only lost like 2 pounds, 2 ounces or so. So, and going back and looking, I started out at 190.3 on Omad. And this was just incidentally, the 2 times I'd done it incidentally. But nonetheless, I'm counting it the very first day that I'd ever ate one meal. So, 21 days, I started at 190.3, and I am now down to 184.8 and weighing myself this morning, which means that, once again, I stayed pat. Yesterday I was 184.8. Today I'm 184.8. So once again I stayed pat. That's two times now in a row that I have stayed pat, because before that I was 0.9 and stayed that way for 2 days, and now 0.8 and staying that for 2 days. It is still so weird to me. But anyway, so in 21 days I have lost 5 pounds and 5 ounces doing Omad. A lot of people, they say that they've lost such and such. Some has lost more than that in around 3-week time. But for me, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I suffer from hypothyroidism, and yes, I do take medication, but nonetheless, my body is still sluggish when it comes to that. So, that's just fine with me, and I know that I'm continuing to drop. So, I'm being patient about it, and I'm going to keep doing it, because there's other things that's happening, and those other things are just as important. For one, I'm no longer really suffering from swelled ankles like I used to, which, the swelling had gone down a lot as I continued losing the weight the way it was, but I would still have somewhat swelled ankles sometimes. Not as bad as it was when I was over 200 pounds, but nonetheless, and now I've got that even less, and so that's awesome. I've still got the energy where I can clean house and pace the floor. Yesterday I done another 6 miles in my house on top of straightening things up. So, I'm not complaining one bit about the effects of intermittent fasting and Omad. As I've said, for me, doing Omad means I've got more control on how much I eat. And even though I'm eating equivalent to how much I would have if I'd ate 2 meals, thing is I'm eating it just once, and therefore I feel like I do have that control. I feel like I really do have that control. And so, plus the fact that I'm not putting food in twice a day, that's allowing my body that rest period to finish digesting and then to go about the other business that it needs to tend to, instead of it constantly having to keep the blood source in the stomach, you know. So yeah, intermittent fasting and Omad is awesome to me. It's awesome to me. And as I've heard said, Omad may not be the thing for everyone else. There's quite a few out there who is doing Omad, or at least intermittent fasting, and some has very large windows, 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, you know. And then there's some of us who literally does Omad itself, so that we're just eating one meal, and we've got a 23-1 window. So there are quite a few out there, and I have seen a lot of testimonies, videos of people talking about how much weight they've lost, how much better they're doing, their numbers coming down statistically at the doctor's office with doing the intermittent fasting, not necessarily the Omad, but with the intermittent fasting. And people that's even doing the 16-8 window has said that they've got considerable better numbers from the doctors than what they had had prior, before they'd started working on it. So intermittent fasting in itself is very awesome. It's great for the body because the body needs that time to work on other matters it needs tended to. But, you know, for Omad, there is that control. There is that control. It means that you're the boss. You're the boss. Not your mind, not your taste buds, not your cravings, but you. You're the boss. And that's cool. That is absolutely cool. That's awesome. I love having control. Whereas one time I didn't have any control whatsoever. None. I would like a dish and I would go back and get seconds. And not only would I get seconds, but the pile on the second plate would be just as big as the first pile. And I'm talking about man-size piles. I'm not talking about little girly piles with just a little ounce or two of everything. I'm talking about man-sized piles where everything was 6 ounces and more. And I could hold it. I could literally hold it. I remember when I was a child and Mom would fix spaghetti, and oh, I love spaghetti. I love spaghetti. And it happens that when I was a child, that when she would fix spaghetti, I would get me a nice heap, nice little mountain. Eat that up, go back, get myself another heap, almost as large as the first heap. And I remember I would go to bed and my stomach would be in serious pain from being so overstuffed. And I would think to myself, when is it going to not hurt anymore? I used to do that at Smorgasburgs too. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it proper. There's a particular restaurant chain that we used to go to called Duff's. Just a very wonderful buffet, seriously. Stands right in there with the Golden Corrals, honest. And oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That's when I first tried chocolate mousse, fell in love with it. But, you know, I remember one night we went there and I overstuffed myself. And it happened that, like, we lived in Kentucky and the Duff's was in Ohio. And we went all the way to Ohio to eat there. And it took until we got back home for my stomach to finally be somewhat comfortable. It was still stuffed, but it was somewhat comfortable. So, yeah, I had major eating issues. Major. When there was something I enjoyed, I ate it and ate it. I mean, I never wanted to stop eating it. If I liked it, if I liked the flavor, I didn't want to stop eating it. Even when I would be full, I'd have to take another bite because it was just so good, you know. And And surprisingly, growing up, I had finally reached the rate of 142, and I stayed between 142 and 143, and that's how much I weighed when I married my first husband. But after I had my daughter, and she was around 6 months old, I had managed to lose the baby weight, but I had to have my birth control pill changed, and when I did, there it went. All that binging started to seriously matter. I mean, it was major. Within 1 month, I had gained around 30 pounds within 1 month. And so from that point on, and you know, a lot of people, they blame giving birth to kids the reason for their weight gain. That wasn't my problem. My problem was I ate too much, and when I had my birth control pill changed, it messed with my thyroid, and my thyroid could no longer maintain the weight. It could no longer metabolize what I was eating. All that food could no longer metabolize it. And there it shot. So, and it's a battle now. It's a battle now. Because now I'm having to take hypothyroid medication. So, it doesn't take much for me to gain weight. It doesn't take much at all. And that's another reason why I really like Omad, because I am staying within that window. As I'd said before, there's only so much my stomach could hold. So therefore, I'm not overeating. I'm not overeating, and therefore, my body can metabolize what I eat, because I can only hold so much in my stomach, and therefore I'm not overeating. I like that. I like that. That is giving my thyroid the chance to do what it needs to do. I am no longer demanding it to digest a whole mess of food. Instead, I am taking it easy on it, allowing it just enough for it to digest so that it can carry on and do the other things that needs to get done. So yes, I am learning to take much better care of my body, and through intermittent fasting and Omad, I am doing it. I'm no longer demanding my body to do something that it's not capable of doing. Finally. Anyway, guys, to my new subscribers, thank you and welcome. I am so glad you're here. You will be seeing me tomorrow with another journey vlog. I love each and every one of you so very much. Have a wonderful day.